welcome to my channel. Today, I am going to review a book which is The Room on the Roof. It is the debut book of Ruskin Bond, which he wrote when he's 17 years old. In the book, the story moves around Rusty, who has no real family after his parents' death. He is very lonely and sad, and even though he lives with his guardian, Mr. John Harrison, he doesn't feel at home. Rusty is going through several emotions. He is confused, obliged, helpless, lonely, and sad. He is confused because he is a young boy between the age of an adult and a child and doesn't know who to follow or what his future holds. He is obliged to follow the orders and rules of his guardian and dares not disobey him. He feels helpless because he knows that if he disobeys Mr. John, he will get caned. Rusty doesn't have any real friends and he is so very lonely in his guardian's house. Even though Rusty is a half Indian, John doesn't let Rusty near the bazaar for a reason. John thinks that the Indians are very dirty, and this story is written just after the British had ruled over India, so he must have felt more superior. One day, Rusty decides to get some fresh air and take a walk while his guardian was away in the bazaar. After walking through the forest, he stops in the front of the bazaar and his mind is arguing with his instinct. His mind is saying, "Don't go, you will get into trouble." But his instinct is saying, "Go, you have your own heart and mind. You do not have to live under rules all the time." Rusty chooses to follow his instinct and steps into the bazaar. He has made a good choice. Up till now, Rusty doesn't have any hope or confidence, but then he meets a kind boy named Somi and makes friends with him. Somi and his friends become Rusty's hope and confidence, and Somi and Ranbir are really kind to Rusty. When Rusty returns home, he finds that his guardian has returned early and gets caned for going to the bazaar. The next day, he goes to play Holi with Ranbir and once again gets caned. Rusty, who knows what he has to do. He starts to live his own life and runs away from his guardian's house. Rusty finds Somi, who sports him a lot. Slowly, from a confused boy, Rusty turns into a confident and independent young man. He gets a teaching job to a boy named Kishan in return for a tiny room on the roof and food. He finds a loving and fun family, has independence, and even finds his first love in Kishan's mother, Meena. The story takes a turn when he loses all his friend and his first love too. Now, Rusty's last source of confidence and hope has gone away, and his only lonely days return. Rusty spent his sad days looking out at the window and once again plans to run away. He decides to go back to England, but before doing so, he wants to say a last goodbye to his friends and find Kishan, who convinces him to change his mind about returning to the UK. Instead, the two walk away together to form their own new world and life without worrying about anything else. What I like about the book is this book because it was written from a teenager's perspective. The author was 17 when he wrote this, and the story was inspired by his own experiences when he lived in Dehradun. He wrote this story because he too was feeling some of the emotion that Rusty was feeling in the story, and for that reason, he decided that he would never make any revisions so readers could understand how it feels to be a 17. It was a great read because it has a lot of different emotions, and I like the way Ruskin Bond has written it, a simple story made into such a touching and sad book. I think the author has explained an important message in this book. Rusty's guardian seems to be a little racist who chooses to live in India but not mix with the people there. I think if the people live in a country, they should mix with the people and appreciate their culture. The lesson in the story for me is to remain open as Rusty was and to follow my instincts. If Rusty had not become friends with the people of the bazaar, he would never have had all the wonderful experiences in the story. Ruskin Bond reminds me of Royal Dare because they both use interesting language and real funny phrases to describe their characters and their stories. They both write simple but wonderful stories, even though Roald Dahl is more fantastical, and Ruskin Bond stories feel like memoirs but presented as a story. I would give this book a 9 out of 10 rating, and I will urge all my readers to read this book. Thank you. If you have read this book, then please share your experiences in the comment section. And also, if you want me to review any particular book, then feel free and comment me down below in the comment section. Please like, share to the video and subscribe to my channel so that you are notified for upcoming new videos.